Hey folks, welcome. Dustin Harris here with another mini-sode. This is going to be a short one. Just a couple thoughts that came to my mind here today that I think are important to get out there. I want to remind you first that we are sponsored by ANow. ANow software is the ability to basically take care of your appraisal office. Now, you still have to be the owner. You still have to manage the appraisal office, but ANow will help you to do it more efficiently. You can find them at anow.com/coach. That's anow.com/coach. Well, folks, this new foray into the world of YouTube on the podcast, and if you've maybe missed the last couple of episodes, you may have missed the announcement that we are now currently on YouTube. That's right. You can find the Appraiser Coach podcast on Stitcher Radio if you're on Android for your smartphone. If you are using Apple products such as an iPhone, you can find us on iTunes. Now, I was going to sit there and describe how to come up with that because I've had several people ask me, how do I find you? I guess I can, because if you're listening to me on YouTube, you might want to listen to the audio. So you just have to go to your podcasting app. So if you're on Android, just download Stitcher Radio as one of your apps, and then you just have to search for Appraiser Coach. If you're on Apple, you already have a podcasting app. If you don't know where it's at, just do the search bar and search for podcasts and go in there, do the search for Appraiser Coach. You'll find me, subscribe, and now every single time a new episode comes up, it will download automatically to your phone. So you can listen to and from your appraisal inspections. Okay. If you are watching this online, you know the power of YouTube. There is a reason that we decided to go with YouTube here recently. I said it in a previous episode. I'll say it here again. Google owns YouTube. If you don't understand the power of Google and being able to find things, then you really don't understand the power of SEO and getting your word out. And especially if you're in non-lender work, folks, this stuff is absolutely essential. If you want to build your non-lender portfolio, you're going to want to consider YouTube. Now, there's a lot of different ways to do YouTube. I could just, do a black screen with maybe some logos or something that you would look at. But, I think it's more fun, if you will, to watch what's going on as far as the podcasting goes. I know it gets really annoying seeing my face, and I apologize. My poor wife has had to deal with this for 20 plus years, having to look at this mug on a daily basis, and I really feel bad for her. So I apologize to those of you who have to look at this, but I think it's fun to kind of see, here's the microphone and here's my studio, if you will. And I think, it's more interesting to talk at or talk to or listen to an individual that you can actually see them as they talk. That's one of the reasons our Go Create Some Value workshop, I think, was so popular, that it was not just a webinar. It was an actual videoed workshop. And, so that's been a lot of fun for people. Okay, let's talk about cameras. Let's talk about technology, and let's talk about the building your non-lender portfolio. Okay, it is super important, folks, that you get not only that you have a website, but that you've got a blog and that you are seen. Okay, it's one thing to have a website. We've talked about this before. It's one thing to have a great website, but if nobody sees it, that's a problem, obviously. It can be the greatest website in the world, but if nobody sees it, it's worthless. And so you need to get on Google. You need to get on a search. When someone searches for appraiser in Cincinnati and you happen to be in Cincinnati, you want your website to pop up there. Folks, how can you push that to the top? Well, video is a big part of it. Okay, video is a big part of it. And I would encourage that you start doing more video. Now, I want to talk a little bit about how to do that, and specifically how to, let's put it this way. It's not as hard as it sounds, okay? It's not as hard as it sounds. But I want to pause here and remind you that there's another thing that's not as hard as it sounds either, and that's using ANow software. Now, I get some appraisers coming to me and saying, Dustin, I hear you talk about ANow software. Really, what is it doing for you? Because they're used to having a spreadsheet. They're used to using Excel or Google Docs or something like that to basically keep track of their appraisal orders. Now, folks, ANow is so much more than a spreadsheet. Sure, it keeps track of your orders, but what about the process that you're in with those orders? At what step in the process are you? Has the inspection been completed? Have you updated the client? Have you done the quality control check? Have you pulled comps? Have you put the comps in? These are all steps along the way to the appraisal process, and it's sure nice in my office that when someone calls in and says, hey, where are we at with this report? We can immediately go to ANow software and we can tell them directly, because we've got notes and we've got a system that tracks where that process is. Folks, that makes my life easier. That will make your life easier. Check them out for their free demo, anow.com/coach. That's ANOW appraiser.com/coach. All right, folks, welcome back. Dustin Harris here, the Appraiser Coach Podcast. And today we are talking about a subject that I think is important to look into. I think it's always important that we look at the processes that we as appraisers go through, that we understand why it is that we do some of the things that we do. And, I get a lot of questions from people who want to do less lender work, less AMC work, and more non-lender work. Folks, it's a worthy goal. So today's podcast is to help you to move your business up on the Google search. And one of the ways that you can do that is video. So here's the deal. When someone searches for appraiser in Cincinnati, as we used before the break as an example, does your website pop up? Folks, what if you had a video out there on YouTube that was called Appraiser in Cincinnati? Okay. And what is that video? It's you describing your business. It's you describing why they should click on your business and order an appraisal through you and not your competitor. Folks, I'm telling you that because Google owns YouTube, you need to have videos on your blog. Those videos pop up as search results when people type in appraiser in Cincinnati, for example. Now, it just has to be a 2-3 minute video. It doesn't even have to be that long. It could be a little bit longer. I can tell you that people's attention span are fairly short. So, anything over 3 to maybe stretching 5 minutes is probably too much. People won't watch to the very end. But whatever you do, get on YouTube. And the way that you do that is to get a YouTube channel and to start videoing yourself as an appraiser. Now, I know what you're saying. Dustin, I don't have anything to video. What am I going to video? I mean, me driving down the road to take pictures of my comps? Well, maybe. If that's an interesting thing and you think that your clients are going to be interested in that, absolutely. The other day I videoed my attic inspection for an FHA. I also videoed my crawl space inspection. I put those out as 2 different videos. Now, I did it on the Appraiser Coach side as well as my business side because I think it was important for my clients to know when they have an FHA or a VA inspection, why is it that I have to go in the crawl space and the attic? And what is it that I'm actually looking for? And so I videoed it. It took me 2-3 minutes, folks. Put together a video. It's not high quality. And folks, let me tell you something. People on YouTube do not care that much about quality. In fact, you will see sometimes that the lower the quality, not that I'm saying that it's so low you can't watch it, but I'm saying amateur videos get more clicks than professional ones. They really do. One of the reasons we're doing the Appraiser Coach podcast the way that we're doing it, and we're not sprucing it up and we're not polishing it up, is not just to save money and time. It's really because people want the real thing. They want the real deal, folks. That's why reality TV is so popular. People are tired of spruced up, polished looking things that don't appear real. They want the reality. So if I cough, okay, you want to see that. You want to know that, hey, this guy's a real guy. If I screw up royally, I might edit that out in the audio version, but I'm not going to in the video. That's just the way that we're going to do things here at the Appraiser Coach. And I would suggest that as you do video for your business, that you do the same thing. You just don't let it hold you back that you're not a professional videographer, that you're not a professional YouTuber. Don't look at the guys that are getting, billions of hits out there and say, well, I can't be like that person. Don't be. You're not that person. You are you. You're an appraiser. That's your focus. But, when someone has a question about something, maybe you video it. The other day, one of my colleagues, one of my Dream Team Mastermind individuals, put a video out on his blog, on his website, that had to do with railings on steps, on the exterior, the deck, the porch. Is there a railing necessary? And he showed how in his market, with the client that he was working with, it was 36 inches. It was 3 feet. Anything above that required a railing. Anything below that did not. And he showed how he measured it with his laser. It was just a 2-3 minute video, but it answered the question. And so now when the question's asked in the future, he can simply point them to the video. But more importantly, when someone jumps on and Googles that information, guess who's going to pop up as a search feed? No, folks, try this experiment. Google anything you want. It doesn't have to be appraisal related. And notice how many of those results are actually videos that pop up. And watch where those videos pop up in the Google feed. Again, Google owns YouTube. The second most searched search engine by far is obviously Google first, YouTube second. That's where people go when they want information, when they want how-tos. Folks, you might as well become that expert in your area. I highly encourage that you do so. Now, before we sign off, I want to just remind you folks, every single one of you, okay, I'm holding up for the camera, my iPhone. This is iPhone 6 Plus. Folks, I carry this wherever I go, literally wherever I go. And if I walk out of a room and I don't have this in my hand, I freak out. Okay, this is my brain. right? I have this with me on my inspection. Why not pause and think, you know what, this would be a good thing to video. This is a good instructional thing that I could put on my website. Now, maybe you won't want to do it with the borrower there. You know, a lot of the videos that I take are in vacant homes so that I have the opportunity to set up. By the way, I carry a little tripod with me, just a tiny one that I can set up and put on the hood of my car if I'm outside, or put on a countertop if I'm inside. Again, it's a small one. It's just a couple inches, so it stabilizes the camera. Folks, this is not high-tech stuff. This is not expensive, it's not difficult, it's not challenging, but I'm telling you, it's worth it. Please carry a smartphone with you and think to use it to start to video things and get them on your website, because that will get you to the top of Google and that will get you more non-lender business. Folks, thanks for joining me. Dustin Harris, signing out.